Hello and welcome to the transformation theme of this week. Every Monday on my mission page between 12 and 1 Amsterdam time, that's really lunchtime here, but can be different where you are, of course. I will be live and discussing a theme that is related to business and creativity, to art, money, Bitcoin, health, love, creative entrepreneurship, and all of those themes, meditation. And you can interact with me while doing that talk. It's somewhere between 12 and 1, and I just take maximum 30 minutes for it. And the interaction is really what I wish for us. So if you have a question or a remark, put it down below. And we don't have viewers yet, I see. But you can also put your questions below in the comment box when this video is done, and it will remain up on my mission page, and you can just put in your question anyway, and I will go to your question and look at it seriously afterwards. So be sure of that. So that's the concept for now. We're doing this every Monday and feel very welcome. I especially linked this video for this week to the Creative Entrepreneurs group that we have here on Facebook. So a very warm welcome to you if you are watching this, maybe later, that's also possible. Because I want to discuss about what is a creative entrepreneur and why does the world need us or need them? Are we already creative entrepreneurs, or can we become one? And what is the benefit of that? Why would I want that? So all of these things I want to address a bit and hopefully get some remarks or questions. Go into that live and then close off with some announcements. If they're there, they're probably there. So yeah, that's what we do every week here. Also in that format, so now you know. You are as a guest in my piano space. My black shiny piano came home 1.5 months ago, something along that time, and I'm very, very grateful and happy that it did. I played on it as a child from 11 years old on, I think, and I always loved it. Also as an adult later in my life, I loved playing piano. I love playing classical pieces, and at this point I am studying some Erik Satie pieces again. But I also love, for instance, playing a bit of Arvo Pärt, which is a present-day composer with very silent meditational but also very abstract music, and I love it. So yeah, that's what I love. And we have some dancing pictures of me and some books about Wuthering Heights, about twin flame love that I really love, and a crystal that I love. An artist that I follow here in the city, Anouk Leona, made that beautiful small emotional landscape that just, I loved that one as my emotional landscape. And my cat is there on the picture, and she's sitting at my feet as well. So yeah, some nice items to feel at home while talking about creative entrepreneurship. Yeah, maybe that's also very much... Lieve schat, kom maar op schoot anders. My cat wants attention, so come on, just come on my lap then. Kom maar. and hop. So now she's participating. So maybe that's a part of being a creative entrepreneur. That's when you start to really feel at home within your soul and in your being as the ground layer of which all creation is taking part on, then something is starting to happen with you. Hi Eleonora, welcome to my transformation talk theme today. My cat is moving my camera. What is a creative entrepreneur? And I just arrived at maybe it has so much to do with feeling at home in the first place, because I feel at home in this surrounding with my piano and my flowers and my cat on my lap now. But when you feel more at home with your soul and which is the ground of your being, the ground layer of it, then something happens. I feel it happened in my life. It happened in so many other people's lives I have seen that I studied soul creation with. Things start to move and change, and energy movement is what creates value. So even creative entrepreneurship, which is moving money, which is moving energy, when you exchange value, yeah, that is what creative entrepreneurship is. And it all starts with a change on the being level, I feel. And yeah, for me it took me 17 years to sink into that and to be able to portray that more fully in my life. And hi baby. She just turned her ass 5 times. Because I was raised and schooled in a way and educated that it was so incredibly difficult for me to be able to let go all the curses on my family line, all the inner difficulties in your personality, all the spiritual blocks that can exist, all the health-wise non-balanced out food that we're eating and the reasons why we're eating them, all the not being able to speak up from your soul being, even though I was a writer for 20 years now that lectured a lot also professionally, and I'm a speaker, and you can book me as a speaker at my agent since 1.5 years, and still I had trouble speaking up from my soul. I was guided by my soul teacher for 17 years and the people around him that I let myself be guided from, and still I had difficulty speaking up. I went to therapists and healers for 10 years and still I had trouble speaking up. So these are very central issues I feel in people's lives, and at least in mine, and I see that all around me, in my clients, in people that are my friends, and yeah, it's a very common phenomenon. And I feel we don't have to solve all of that before we can be creative entrepreneurs, because I feel it's a road to travel, and I wish I have a heartfelt wish to share that road with you. That's why I began the group Creative Entrepreneurs. It's a road you can travel. It might take you up to 9 years or more, just like it did to me. But I feel it's very worth it, because the earth might just really need you. And yeah, that's that part of the question that I gave for today. Like, does the world need us? And I feel the world does need something. It needs people who are very, very sensitive and very, very powerful leaders at the same time. Self-leaders in the first place. We need some sort of a model, I feel, that is based on an artist, because that means that you can create, and you will create a new planet first for yourself and then for co-creating and for us together. And that's what the world cries out for, I feel. Being in a place that is so full of war and of crazy politicians that very clearly are not really sane sometimes, even, that you might say, like mentally or emotionally sane or developed very well, or in a place where there is for years and years in our Western society a economical crisis, and your personal results from that. So many people just in areas where we have an enormous amount of richness compared to other people in the world, like in the Netherlands. We have so many people, even entrepreneurs and artists and I mean everybody, that is just not able to buy food anymore or pay their rent or their health insurance, which is very common to have that all very easily in our country, and we just cannot pay for that anymore, and it takes years and years that this situation is going on. So all those kinds of situations. And what do you think about looking around and seeing people becoming obese and unhappy and getting ill and having cancer? And I mean, so many people get cancer nowadays and consider it incurable and suffer from that extra thing that they're doing to each other. That is to say, they're doing the fate, the storytelling to themselves that it's incurable and they cannot help and they must die now or something, or at least suffer a lot. I mean, isn't that awful? I heard a lot from all of those things nowadays, and I feel for that. I feel for these people. I feel for, all of the suffering that we do for all of those topics and more. So what do we think of people who are looking for their soul love, or that are currently in very unhappy marriages? That's a cry to have compassion with. That's a very grand life theme that asks for a lot of new solutions, a new feeling into that. What do we think about artists that are trying to find their way in how to recreate their businesses in a way that they not only can take their art seriously, but their healing and coaching that stems from their creative identity, which is also present in their art, take that seriously too and build a business from that? A coaching business, a healing business, a entrepreneurial endeavor in all sorts of ways, a journalistic endeavor, a social media related blogging environment you can build from that and that you can sell from. And how difficult that is, because we are so trained as artists to be non-commercial, and that it's so-called a forbidden field to even go there, and like at least half of your creative potential is just not coming out. You cannot make a living. It's just such a shame, and I feel for that too. So all these kinds of topics are very near and dear to my heart, and I feel also to the world, because they're all so much related to being a creator, a soulful creator yourself, and how you can contribute to the world is always a creational act. So no wonder that the earth wants, how I feel it, us to be fully creational beings again and take that power fully to do that and to be that. And yeah, lost my train of thought, but that's just how I feel that the earth needs us to get more into our creative powers and be more of ourselves, in a sense of getting from that and from the soulful creative action in being into action, and yeah, be so much more into the world that we can be and co-create from that. And creating a planet that is full of people that have self-leadership, that know their creative identity and create from that, create their artworks from that, their creative living and being from that, meditation from that, creating their creative coaching projects from that in your unique way, creating your business from that and your entrepreneurial endeavors from that. And that's a nice division, because we have a business when we are organizing our exchange value in a consistent way, and we become an entrepreneur when we are someone that is able to look at a sort of meta level where you can have multiple businesses where your exchange level is systemized, and you can have multiple projects too, where a project is where your exchange of value is for the occasion a bit systemized. And an entrepreneur oversees all of the former, so we have different layers in it. You can be someone, what I said, that can do it on your life and being field. You can do it on an artistic field, so your specific field of art, and it can be the whole range from choreographer to writer to the maker of a comic. Can be so many things. You can do it on a project level for a creative solution that you have thought out. You can do it on a business level, on an entrepreneurial level, and then when you have an overview of all of those levels, you are a sort of the creative entrepreneurial level that I mean, and that we study and support each other with in the group Creative Entrepreneurs on Facebook, where you're very welcome to join us. It's just for free, and not all, but part of the tools are shared freely as well. So those are the layers, and a creative entrepreneur learns how to move freely through all those fields and layers and co-create value from that, and asks value back too, because we're not afraid of money as creative entrepreneurs. I feel money is a stream of consciousness and energy that can come to you and cause a lot of great things that also help you again to be this creative entrepreneur even more fully. So yes. Also in the group Creative Entrepreneurs, some money regulations are placed there very, very consciously, so be aware of that. And I also made a very long post about it. It's somewhere in the group with hashtag Creative Entrepreneurs. That's when you click on that on the group, on those hashtags, and you can find the posts back. At this point, by the way, in the group we are posting questions, creative questions with the hashtag added into your post, creative question, and we are giving each other supportive feedback on those questions. And they can be about all of the fields that I just mentioned. And yeah, the fields are also the scales and sizes in which you can create, and it doesn't really matter how the size is of what you create, but what matters is the mentality that it comes from, the emotion that it stems from, and the attention then that it originates from. That's how we create. I will be rolling out tools that will help us in that group in the next days, weeks and months. And one of the things that we're going to do is a 12-month program that you can step into if you like. And we just go through all kinds of topics that I also a bit mentioned in what I said all. And just look at the guidelines that stem from the creative identity method that we created for the last 10 years that are about those monthly topics, and that might just help you so much to get your daily life and your business and your artistic expression, etc. on track with being a creative entrepreneur, so that we can just share that mission and that that road, that learning road together. I was just looking at my notes now on my laptop. I think I said a lot already about what is creative entrepreneurship and the stages and why the world might need us. And I will be posting a post that maybe gives a bit of structure to just what I just said. Maybe I just want to add, don't be afraid to get in the group. Don't be afraid to sort of be a creative entrepreneur by means of joining, or by means of putting that word to yourself, in the sense of being afraid that you're not worth it, or that you're not there yet because you don't have a business yet or whatever. That's not the idea. We can just share our journeys and what I just said, that it's more the emotion, the intention and the mentality that counts, and the spiritual core that you could sink into if you wish, and from that things could grow or not, or whatever your wish is. So at this point people enter the group and they are coming from fields of action and topics and themes that are in my life very present, because that's kind of logic, isn't it? Because they enter through me at this point at least. They may also enter through you, so feel welcome to add friends, but think a little bit about if it's something for them first. Guidelines around that could change in future, by the way, but we'll see. So they come in through my network at this point a lot, and my network, that means that I had a lot of international and also national, but also international talks and contacts and communications and valuable moments with people in twin flame groups on Facebook, and that surprised me very much. I was eager to learn and share in that topic for a lot of time, and that really stood out as special and important, and something that surprised me, that we could have so much very heartfelt contact from all over the world in that topic. Also, I learned business coaching, people around the world from that, from 4 years ago on, because I visited at that time many international oriented business coaching enormous events, sometimes as big as 5,000 people, sometimes very small as well. And I want to welcome those people very much when they feel what I feel, and also join creative entrepreneurs. I have, of course, always a lot of contacts in the arts and culture, being a writer and also, in fact, someone that creates theater performances, paintings, drawings and dances too. Yeah, last 3 years I had a lot of Bitcoin and blockchain and crypto money, digital money inventions, value exchange inventions, and the tech that are solutions that are built into that could mean a lot more than money and value, as a whole topic in my life, and that also grew internationally very quickly. I learned a lot about it, and I spoke on Bitcoin conferences and international American ones. Well, we did it in Amsterdam, but it was an American one too the last couple of years, and other occasions that I talked about my ideas in that and my creative endeavor in that topic. Yeah, and those people also became my clients and are in a group now. So yeah, that's also more or less related to what I did. That's how it goes. And holistic health is very much an enormous international theme that I visited last 3 months and more. But the last 3 months very intense with Masterfast System and other groups. And I just got acquainted, or friends, or even more than that, with so many great people that fast, that are understanding how that contributes to holistic health, that understand that health is such an enormous help in being yourself fully and to express yourself authentically and create your life in the most valuable way, so that you can help other people in the best way possible. So yeah, that's another field of people that enter the group, and that are at this point very logically entering the creative entrepreneurship. But any other person that feels drawn, I mean, welcome. And Helga, very welcome. Nice that you're watching. If you have a remark or a question about creative entrepreneurship, please do so. You may have missed what I said just now, but please ask your question anyway, because this is your chance. And we're a bit at the end already of my 30 minutes Mondays transformation theme live on my mission page, but I could just make it to one if we have questions. And you can also watch this back and put your questions underneath, and I will absolutely try to answer them as best as I can later. So, the realms that I feel creative entrepreneurship will play out in the most, and are the most logic from the current perspective, are the spiritual field of being, love, meditation, etc. The creativity field in the broad sense, be it an artistic sense or a creative business sense, or even in another way. In the futuristic innovation scene, and also the futuristic tech innovation scene. In the business coaching, in any way, shape or form, can even be healing. And in the holistic health and food environment. So these are, at this point, the logic fields, but any other field could be very welcome. I feel that being a creative entrepreneur is something that you feel, and that is an energetic blueprint that you could tap into if you're drawn to it. Also, it's a road, a journey, and becoming initiated in this transhuman art of living and co-creating is the key to the earth assistance we are called to with our natural creative power. Yeah, just read that from my notes. I thought that could be a beautiful ending of that part of my video. Announcements. Yeah, become a member of Creative Entrepreneurs group on Facebook. It's a group that is mainly English in language, but you can do a bit of Dutch too, that's fine. You go to tinyurl.com/creative entrepreneurs. And you click on I want to become a member, and I will click you in. And you are very welcome to introduce yourself if you wish when you enter on the post where we have introductions, or create your own posts about it. And you are very welcome to create and post your creative hashtag, creative question, and we will feedback you. Yes, more announcements. Yes, I think we'll just keep it at this. Not all my outings are in English. And on my private timeline, I will do English a bit. On my mission page where you're now, I will do English also a little bit sometimes. In the Creative Entrepreneurs group, we will be a lot of English. Once a week, I post an English frequency weather on Creativity TV. That's maybe nice to say, yes. The new frequency weather for this week, week 29, will be up, I think, in a few hours. It's fully in English, and you can draw so much inspiration from that talk that I do. That comes from drawing my manifestation card for entrepreneurs in an intuitive way for this week. And you will find Creativity TV, where you can right now watch the frequency weather of last week still. You can watch it at tinyurl.com/creativitytv. Very welcome there also as a subscriber. Dear people, I leave you with this today, and love and co-creation. See you later.